The developer. The guy who has no life, who belongs to the ancient family of wild gorillas, distinguished just by not moving and looking at a giant computer screen saying, In today's video, we look at programmers and what happens when a war between junior and senior teams occurs. Hey everyone, welcome to 6 Digits, the digits of the future, the channel of tech and the humor of the den. So do you know what is actually the difference? Junior developer. Big ass curved screen monitor, a mechanical keyboard, AirPods, and a MacBook Pro M1. Senior developer. 1 Lenovo laptop. Do you know what it takes to be a developer? 1. Endless nights. 2. No sleep. 3. Free swag. 4. Laptop sticks. And 5. The single life. They literally have a dog, and even that is single as well. Let's see what happens when a new intern joins a company, when he first gets his sprint with the co-founder. Hi John, welcome to Leaf Startup. We're one of the fastest growing startups in this neighborhood with more than 5 clients around the neighborhood. Our startups consist of blockchain, artificial intelligence, and neural network that can help a user to get a dog's chain delivered within 5 days only. The meeting with the engineering manager. Hi John, welcome to Leaf. We at Leaf, leave. Pun intended. You get it? We at Leaf leave? The junior thinks, I must laugh or else he'll fire me. You're such a funny man, so funny. So John, I'll be telling you the tech slack of the company. And then he starts rapping. We at Leaf use HTML, CSS5, JavaScript, ES1, ES2, ES3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, with React, Angular, Vue, Electron, and Flutter. For blockchain, we use Solidity. For AI, we use Panda, and Jupyter for Notebook. For cloud, we use Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, AWS, and many other influential technologies that don't make sense, but it's fancy, so we bought it. The intern throws up their hands in confusion. Engineering manager. Any questions? Intern. The call cuts. Yes. This is what happens when you try to intern at a big Silicon Valley startup. But is that it? Do you know the difference between a degree and self-taught coders? The biggest ego war in the history of computer science, where one guy thinks he's the best and the others say no, but in the end, both of them suck. A self-taught coder is typically Guilfoyle, who has long hair, hasn't taken a bath since ages, and is very arrogant. On the other end, we have people like Dinesh, who went through 4 years of a degree, doesn't take baths, and tries to be cool. These two people will fight on literally everything, from science to toilet papers to machine learning algorithms, but both of them will fail to prove anything. Once upon a time, a computer science sophomore was hired at a big tech company. Definitely not Fang. He was happy to see the free food, free slides, and the latest MacBook, but the people there were significantly smart. One guy can code upside down, one guy can code while sleeping, one guy can code with his feet. That made the student have imposter syndrome, until he met his project manager who looked like Elon Musk but coded like Kylie Jenner. Absolute garbage. He was allotted the task to build a complete search engine, which he knew nothing about. He started to Google things like how to make a Google search engine. He was frustrated at first, but then he found a shiny website called Stack Overflow. He saw a pure PHP code that says it searches. He became happy and tried his script kiddie skills to build an engine. When he showed it to his senior, he became happy. Both of them went to the CEO and showed the product, and then they later got fired. Why? Do you want to know why? Because they were using the Google Search API to make a search engine. The only common thing between the two developers is coffee, which they both take hundreds of times in a day, and still sleep while working. Let's talk about George, who did boot camps and is now interning at a tech company. George learned how to make stars float on a CMD and how to make birds fly on HTML. But he also learned how to hack NASA using HTML and CSS. George went to the technical interview round. The first question he got was to invert a binary tree, and he wrote the code of inverting an array, but it worked not so heated arguments. Next and most hardest question he got was mind-blowing, devastating, and made him flabbergasted. How to traverse an array. George the junior dev was nervous, while the senior dev was ready for him to fail. George took a deep breath and started writing. And it worked! Senior dev couldn't believe it and left his job right away. George went to the office at San Francisco where he had to pass 10 unit cases, but last cases of shortest path wasn't clearing. He knew nothing what to do. He went to Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft, and no one could answer him. He used the ancient Chinese technique called Zulaka, which means nothing. He went to the code and deleted the test cases block and made a pull request. While he made the pull request, the senior developer was eating a banana in his pajamas, saw the code very concisely, looked at every optimization technique, data structure, and object-oriented principles to make the code the best code. But after a lot of observation, he wrote LGTM and merged the request. This is the time when an earthquake occurred in the city of San Francisco, and the company went bankrupt. Do you want to know what aspires to software engineer the most? You guessed it, a job at Google. But if we go and ask them why they want to go to Google, they say the following things: free food, slides to work, a sleeping pod, and cycling around the Bay Area. And the passion to code is somewhere at the end. Sharing the very infamous, pathetic story of a software engineer named Alpha, who isn't Alpha, Beta, Gamma in real life. He knew the power of Google and then the social status he'd get on LinkedIn. The likes and reach he'd get on his profile that can eventually make him extra famous around the world. He started at CodeChef and leaked code after months of solving arrays, data structures, and algorithms to nail the interview. After years of hard work, he couldn't get in because he didn't have a referral, so he went to a fancy tech conference with a free swag t-shirt he got from Leaf Tech. He talked to most of the people and asked if they'd refer him, and most of them said, "You look like a pickle, and we don't like pickles." He was sad, sitting on the horse, then he met Sung Kang from Tokyo Drift, and he said, "I would like to give you a Google referral only if you win the sprint race." He accepted the challenge. They both raced, and luckily he failed the race and started crying. Sung Kang saw his potential and offered him a referral after all. So here comes the first round of interview on a Google Meet. Senior Dev: "Hi, Dumbhead. Today we'll take your interview. Hope you're prepared or you can get lost." Alpha: "Sir, I'm ready." Senior Dev: "Okay, Picklehead. Sort me an array of stars with recursive algorithm." Alpha, clearing his face with tears and sweat, writes: Senior Dev: "Very interesting. You are way dumber than you look. Next question. Code me a monkey hash map with blockchain in it." This time, Alpha was ready because he played with monkeys in his childhood. His mom used to call him chimpanzee as a kid. He wrote his own inverted monkey chimp algorithm. Senior Dev stared for the next 5 minutes, asked him a lot of questions about OOP, DSA, algorithms, operating systems, and artificial intelligence. He was shocked to hear that in all of his answers, he had some great monkey algorithm analogies, which impressed the recruiter a lot and hired him. Now they both work on an empty island, but not as software engineers, but people who look for mentally ill monkeys together as labor. Both left the job and embraced the mental freedom. After all these stories, we learned a very hard lesson: that it's not about seniors or juniors, it's about how dumb they both are. Even one has a degree and the other has experience. We don't recommend anyone to code for money, because you ain't gonna get a girlfriend either, even if you have money. Try it if you can. See you in the next video. Signing off.